Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Allen Fans, another show. It's a Monday night, and you know what we do on Monday night? Monday night is when we do the review, and what a weekend it has been. And the game's actually just ended just a few hours ago, Atlantic Standard Time for us, around 5 o'clock. Arsenal had their game against Crystal Palace. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But all in all, though, we had a great EPL weekend, man. It was awesome. Lots of wonderful games. And we are here in the building. So if you love what we do here at Allen Fans, please don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tell everybody what's going on. If you have the link right now, whether you're at Facebook or you're at Instagram or you're at Twitter, just share it. Share it right now. Tell other people. Tell everybody. Just throw it out there. Tell them we're going to be talking about football tonight. And y'all know, right? We love to talk about football. Football is life. Hashtag football is life. So we see fans coming in, lots of people coming in, and we see the ball rolling already with our tagline for this evening. Maguire is dead food, man. Okay. Sharissa Dover, one of our faithful fans, says good evening. Good evening to you as well, man. All right. And Jaleel says, no Memphis Vex. Watch your face. Every week he come talk about Maguire, and he has lots of reason to. Martin says 2-2. I don't know whether he's disappointed or he's relieved. Who knows? But maybe Martin, you can tell us. All right. And here we go. Marshall not even near the team. We still, yeah, we are. Okay. And people in the stream thought he want problem. Me not call no name. Joe's also in the building. Good evening, Joe.
What's going on, fellas?
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna be talking EPL football, but before we jump into that, let's just cover our fantasy so far, our fantasy weekend, and Netflix and Chilwell is still on top. We didn't have the best of weekends though. In that regard, he didn't get as many points though. So we see the tables are turning and shifting around a bit there as you work our way through. Don't forget, if you have a team and you would like to join our fantasy, of course, you can still do that. Here's our fantasy Premier League code, and you can still be a part of what we're doing here in that regard. So our league though is actually quite interesting, and it's doing pretty well. Netflix and Chilwell, Alton Henry, he's at top. He only got 42 points this game week. He has 548. Jonathan Suko is second, 527, and I'm holding the third with 522. And Shaq, just when I thought I had him beat this weekend, he comes and creeps up right behind me, just 8 points behind me at fourth. And Christoph, who's been steadily getting more and more points, Christoph Marcellus, Daggers FC, he's in fifth. So we work our way and we're doing our best. And it was a crazy fantasy weekend, fellas. Yes? No? Maybe so? Shaq, can I hear you?
I'm unmuted. Yes, I was saying I'm rooting for Christoph, man. I want Christoph to win this.
Well, that
I'm
would be
rooting
actually a
for
pretty good
Christoph.
thing. He did say he's gonna win it. He
Yes,
said it. He said so. He did say so.
really confident.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But it didn't feel like this was a weekend for clean sheets, though. I
No,
was hoping it was. Didn't feel so. You know, but
only couple
I
games
w-
I've seen.
only just a couple
The
of games. I
Chelsea
think the
game,
Chelsea game, the City game,
Brighton, City
the Southampton game. Right? They played who?
versus Leeds, right.
Yeah, so yeah, that those games, yeah, probably. But other than that, really, not much there to go on, you know. And a couple of people who normally did well for people in the past didn't play for different reasons. But it's holding tight with Netflix and chill. But at the top, he played his wild card, and it didn't really help him. It didn't help him at all. He only got 49 points. All right,
Mm-hmm.
but he so that makes it even more interesting now. His 40 something point lead has been taken down into the 20s. So it's still
Wow.
anybody's game. It's still anybody's game. And so lots of people can drop. Joe, I know your favorite saying is the race is not for the swift. All right, are you still maintaining that?
Always. That never changes, bro. Never changes.
Never changes. I know it doesn't. So, but you're gonna keep fighting it out. Memphis has moved up from 35th to 32nd. Good job, Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Much Memphis.
And Chamor, you went down a bit, man. What happened, bro? Yeah, I mean, you got down to 39. You usually stay 35 and above. What's up? What's up with that? No, nothing.
Ronaldo,
Yes.
Ronaldo falls and so now. He just expensive and not doing nothing.
Let me check
What
out what's
I'm
going on with
seeing
your team.
among man more.
You got 51. That wasn't too bad. You know, Robinson and Liverman to help you out. Cancelo help you out. Sanchez help you out. Semedo didn't give in much. You know, who is the captain? Oh, your
My
captain Grealish.
my captain
Grealish
never
got.
changed, that one game, and I always forget to change it.
Oh, your captain was Grealish, yeah, and Grealish didn't get any points. Oh, that's what happened. See, if you captain somebody, if you captain a son, you probably would have won the game week. You know,
And
so
Ronaldo, and to make it worse, Ronaldo was my vice captain now.
true. That's true. And he didn't do anything either. Hasn't done anything for a little while now. But that's that. So other people are part of our personal crew. We got Munchie in 13th. He went down. And where's Skill? I'm trying to find where Skill is. Oh, Skill is in 17th. He went down. Skill had a rough game week too. So Skill only had 23 points or 29 points. Um,
Damn.
he didn't do too well at all. Pereira gave him nothing. Semedo gave him nothing. TNE gave him nothing. Pickford gave him nothing. Pogba gave him nothing. Lalana gave him nothing. Antonio, Ronaldo, Lukaku. Not a good week for not a good week there for the brother. But again, I'll agree with Joe. The race is not
Not for the
for the Swift. Not for the Swift. There are plenty more game weeks to go. We only need 8, and it's what 38, right? Yeah.
13.
So
30 more.
yeah, 30 more game weeks. A lot can change in there. We see some fans here giving a couple of things here. Jaleel, the boy, getting out his rage already early. We'll get to that in a second. Jaleel says Oli has created an environment where the fans think Ronaldo and Pogba the problem. That is mad. Mm. And the thing is, boy, I'm passionate. He's the biggest problem for the last 3 years. Amija says triple captain Lukaku. Okay, maybe next time we'll see how that goes. How is everybody doing? I want to get everybody's feeling. You know, all you guys are local guys. Yeah, anybody enjoying the rain?
Yeah, man, the rain was good. The rain was good. I mean, I had a rough day today.
Mm,
That's it. It's just
a
that, man.
rough day,
Well, a rough afternoon, I should say.
rough afternoon. What about you,
A
Joe?
rough
You had a
two
rough.
hours.
No, no,
Did you have a rough day?
I didn't. I had a pack today at work.
Mm,
I know Shaq is talking about a rough day in terms of the results, but
yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest, I
Hmm.
it's a game you should win, so you expect to win, but at the
Yeah.
same time you don't win, and you're not surprised. Yeah,
Hmm.
today was one of those games. So I
Mm.
was annoyed, but not to the point where I let it get to me.
I spoke to another Arsenal fan today before the game, and he was like, we're going to show you how the top 6 do it, So I'm going to hear from him later on to see how he feels about that. But we'll get to that in just a moment. See how that flows. We do our usual things. We'll start off with the best goal of the weekend. What you guys think was the best goal of the weekend?
I'm rocking with Vardy.
That was a good goal. That was
Telemans.
a that was an excellent
Ooh,
finish.
good one, Memphis.
Tielemans for
Maguire,
Telemans goal
sure.
was real good, no, but
The
Maguire Greenwood.
preciseness of it. Oh, for real though. Greenwood's goal got me on my seat. He hit it really hard. He hit
How
that
uh,
about
hard.
Salah?
I'm actually going
What
with
do you
Salah.
Salah?
I'm going with
But
Yeah,
Salah.
Oh, I
Salah,
forgot
yeah.
about that goal
Yeah,
though.
I'm going with
Salah,
Salah.
yeah, we got to go with
For,
Salah.
for,
I mean, Salah had everything.
yeah, for me, Salah had the best goal of the weekend because again,
Hmm.
it was another moment of individual brilliance. But of course,
Yes.
we saw it last week, so that plays in the part where some persons won't pick it. But for me, Salah definitely had the best goal of the weekend.
I,
Mm, I, I can't argue with it. I really
yeah.
can't. But boy, the way how that angle that Jamie Vardy hit that ball and
Yeah.
to get it in the goal at that in that angle, that was special watching it.
But, but to your point,
I
Shaq, to your same point, Shaq, Salah took it, beat a guy,
beat
then
three guys.
Yeah, be three guys. I think one of them ended up on the floor, and then cut back.
Pause,
Yeah, pause,
pause,
cut back, and then
pause,
still
and then
placed it
he scored the ball.
in that tight angle. He placed it in that as a whole ton of
Yeah.
work. I mean,
It was
it was
Yo, that's like when you watch
brilliant.
basketball and the man get hit with a crossover
Hmm.
and you fall down and the man above you stand up, look on you, and then shoot.
like the dagger.
Basically, James had it.
Yeah,
He's done
yeah.
that.
No, no, what
No,
you
for
gotta
real.
go. It's like
Mm,
no, you never see those FIFA goals when you have these madman doing all these skill moves and they just
mm,
doing it just to enjoyment and they go and score. It's like that.
yeah,
But not the
stats,
over
stats.
exaggerated skill move, just a simple ball, all and thing.
True,
Yeah,
true.
man.
It's like to use Joe's analogy to, in basketball. I think of Kyrie. He would beat 3, 4, 5 man, and when he get to the rim now, the defender is underneath there, and he still finds a way to take the contact, finish in the most clever and most difficult manner. And in a way, Salah did that with the football, man. He still had so much to do,
Like
even
2 weeks
after
in a
the
row.
defender was on the floor. So much to do, and still finished, boy. I tell you,
Can't
but
argue with that.
can't argue with that at all. Look how people here, Salah versus Watford and Greenwood here for weeks. Um, yeah, boy, crazy, crazy, crazy game.
Yo, there was a
Let's
play. There
go.
was a play in that same game with I can't remember what the left winger for Watford's name is. He had like a crazy 1-2 with Sa and he played the ball across. But I think the goalkeeper saved it. And then they ended it, and then
Mm,
it turns out it was no, the goalkeeper saved it and then it went back to the winger and it was offside. Had that goal
uh-huh.
gone in, I think that would
Hmm.
have been a strong contender because that was a beautiful, beautiful build up and everything. The finish, everything
Okay, like
was
one of
well
those
made.
team goals. One of those team goals.
Yeah, yeah. Not only the fact that it was a team goal, but the way the ball came across and the way Sa
Hmm.
was able to angle himself to get it on target. That was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
crazy shot.
yeah, yeah, boy. I tell you. So I think we're in agreement, though. Best goal of the weekend goes to Salah, but there was some notable contenders, as well. Best game of the weekend. Best game of the weekend. You have a
Yeah,
lot of
Has
games
to
to
be
Wolves.
talk
that
about.
way. Yeah.
Wolves.
yeah.
That
Gotta
game
go
was
to
Yeah, we
Wolves.
crazy.
have to be Wolves, man.
Oh boy.
We had everything in that game. I mean, 48
Fuck.
minute, then 68 minute, they're up two, and then Wolves boy came back. It's basically 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes of just goals. 80th,
Yeah, it was
85th, and then
crazy game.
the late Ruben Neves boy. He has a way. I think, boy. Anyway, I think United made us ruin not bringing him in, boy. Ruben Neves, yeah, there, boy, in stoppage time, giving them that game. Big ups to Joe. You predicted 3-1 Wolves, but to be honest with you
Mhm.
though, at the 80th minute before they scored, I don't know if you were watching the game live. You may have been. You really at that
Yeah, I
point thought
watched.
they were going to come
That's
back
actually
three goals.
that's actually the game I watched, bro.
Okay, but you
Listen, I was
thought
watching
then
the
you
game.
thought so.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I thought I was still thinking, hey, they're gonna come back and win the game, but at the same time, like Aston Villa went up two, but then when you're looking at their bench, because you remember
Mm,
Jimenez, Huang, and so on didn't start, so you're looking at it and you're like, yo, this is not impossible. And then Aston Villa
mm,
have a habit of going sleep for a period of time every game.
mm,
They usually
mm,
get through it, but it's something they do every game. And then they brought on Podence, so now you had what killed them, right? They brought on Podence, so now you have Traore on the left with his crazy pace, giving the defenders horrors. But then you also have Podence, who, to be honest, might actually be quicker than him. Because Podence is
mm,
ridiculously quick on the other side running at them. So they just didn't know what to do. It was a
definitely.
crazy game. While everybody was talking, watching the United game and all of that, I was over here watching Aston Villa and Wolves.
Okay, all right. So we're in agreement though. The best game of the weekend was the Wolves game. Let's
Yep.
talk player of the weekend. Player of the weekend. Who's the player of the weekend?
Mendy,
Gotta
Maguire.
be Bobby.
Chelsea.
Bobby Firmino.
Mendy for Chelsea.
Okay, we have Mendy's clean sheet after Brentford's assault, and then we still have the hat trick from Firmino, which is worth mentioning after all he's been through so far even for the season. Any other contenders? Anybody
Maguire
want
for
to join
four
there?
assists. Maguire for 4 assists.
Maguire for forces. Okay, all right, you can join me in there too.
Man,
So
I don't know who
Anybody
to
else?
go.
Memphis look
I don't know.
heartbroken, boy.
Uh,
Memphis look
who?
real hurt. Jeez. You okay
We see
over there,
Julius
buddy?
say, Memphis start every week. Me come on this stream and talk about Maguire, and every week you prove me right. Oh man, definitely. Okay. Let me see. Um, then when Mija here says Maraghi, he was so important to that Leicester win. Okay, all right. Week 7 Maguire. Lots of you voting for Maguire. I always say Shaq. We're gonna go with Maguire for
Of
player.
course not. Of course not.
Of
I
course.
feel like I'm going to go with Mendy. I'll go with Mendy.
I feel the same way too. I mean, I see why the
Yep.
Firmino thing. I mean, he can't. A hat trick is a hat trick, but when you look at the game and you see how much Brentford boy, Brentford played well.
Yeah,
Um,
they
Yeah,
did. And then the
Brentford played
this
Firmino
well.
hat
is
trick, it wasn't even one of those hat tricks where you could say, hey, Firmino just grabbed the game by the
no.
hands and took over and they couldn't contain him. It
No.
was just some, you know, I mean, striking
Right place,
instinct,
right
being in
time.
the right place at the right time finishes versus Mendy
Mhm.
that literally saved Chelsea.
And it's not the first time this season. He's done it a few
Nope.
Yeah,
times. He's
Nope.
yeah,
done it a
that's
Man,
true.
and
few
them just kick
times.
the ball straight at Mendy. Just good, I joking.
Oh boy, it's okay. No, plenty trolling happened this evening. Team of the weekend. Team of the weekend. Liverpool
They scored 5, innit?
Yeah,
scored
Yeah.
5. Leicester
yeah,
scored 4.
But they got 2 conceded though. That's the
yeah.
thing.
Liverpool,
True,
Liverpool.
Uh,
For me,
Liverpool, really.
yeah.
Liverpool versus
But,
Watford. Won't you expect them to score 5?
but you
good
see, that's
point.
the thing. We
Good
expect
point.
them, so we wouldn't give them. But you know, but
Yeah,
I
you
think
expect.
a result is like that. Is where they've given them.
Yeah,
Okay, I know.
Liverpool
I
have
think so.
scored three
I hear your
goals.
point, more. I hear your point, and it's valid point. I was looking for a team. I was like, yo, they punched. For me, I'm looking for a team that they punched above their weight. They did something to let me open my eyes to. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Liverpool looked like scoring every time.
Hmm.
But then if we
Norwich,
look at
Norwich, Norwich. Then keeping a clean sheet against Brighton.
Todd, just because Sergeant missed that, they can't get it.
Oh, y'all saw that?
I didn't see that. What are you talking
The
about?
man had an empty goal and kicked the ball
I
soft.
kick the balls. Yep.
Who? Who?
Sergeant.
Sergeant, the American.
Oh,
Another
yeah, 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 yeah.
American.
Yeah,
Ah,
about them Americans, no.
we've
Not
all,
shocked.
we've all, we've all done that one. Everybody done that here, right? At some point, right? No.
Yeah,
Nope.
nothing. Which
Um,
them thing.
Can't
so
relate.
shocked. So who you giving Wolves?
Yo, I feel like I'd give Wolves, man.
No,
So
because
just
the thing is with
25 bucks.
Wolves, yeah, they fought back. I mean, Podence came on and changed the game and they fought back. But then, why I'm taking into consideration too is Liverpool have scored 3 goals in all of their away
Mhm.
games so far and kept a clean sheet. So
Well,
Right.
and they at one point Liverpool looked like they were just practicing like the football
what
was
about
just effortless.
Southampton and Watford? I mean Southampton and Leeds. Sorry.
What
No,
for slipping the
that game
game this
was
week,
boring.
boy?
That game
These
was
these
very
better
boring.
minded and get a drop. These better
Oh,
minded and get a drop.
True.
Yeah,
oh,
because
mistake.
they're just right outside of the
Yeah,
relegation zone.
they're 17th. They're 17th. Yep. They only have
They
one
have
win
they
for the
have to
season.
find a way to stop sending. We have another international break in I think 3 weeks. They have to
Mhm.
find a way not to let Rafinha go on that international break.
True.
If he's going
He
to
could
miss the
ease.
Premier League game.
But I mean, are they really worried, Jacques? Because Newcastle and Norwich are going down. I think that's kind of obvious now.
I don't
Yeah.
think Newcastle will go down.
Don't think so? Okay.
No.
And Burnley's in that 18th spot, and they tend to always make it. So maybe they might. Maybe they might. Especially running area, turns it around. You
I
know.
think so, man.
And yeah, yeah. And let's see how that works. To see what some of the other people are saying. Um, the heat is already in here early, boy, with the Maguire stuff. So let's just let's just jump on the bandwagon with that one time. All right. United 4-2, Leicester. Leicester 4-2 United. Thoughts on that?
Memphis, come on, you've been quiet. No, it's your time to shine, boy.
Now is the time to
Yeah, well,
shine. I'm surprised he still have hashtag free Donny there, man. He's supposed to have
Hashtag free
yeah,
something.
Memphis.
because we need a goal,
Yeah.
and you bring on Scott McTominay, who plays centre back for his country. Like,
Mm,
what he could do.
okay.
But to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
United didn't really start the game properly. They were lucky
You're
to
right.
go ahead. And I don't know what happened to Green when like, okay, I scored one. Let me just try this every single time I get the ball.
He did do that. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Ronaldo had a chance while we were 1-0 up to make it 2-0, but the keeper saved it.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of kicked it straight at the keeper. And then Maguire happened.
Let's talk about Maguire. So Memphis,
Yeah.
some of the commentators on ESPN were saying that Maguire wasn't fit coming into the game. Did that play a role anyway in your mind? I know the
No,
answer to this.
because he usually do this kind of nonsense.
That is true.
And,
Makati
and you
actually
got
said
and you
that.
got and you got your video evidence, so there's no argument today.
No, he was awful in the game. That's true. So are you
He's been
dropping
awful
Maguire
all
from?
season.
Yes. Are you dropping Maguire this after this performance
Yes, and stripping him of my armband
and stripping of the
Wow.
armband? Okay.
and selling him. Matter of fact, let's tear up the contract.
Tear up the contract. Okay.
Yeah, just tear
All
up the
right.
contract.
Really? So who you starting as centre back with what we currently have?
Call back Twanzebe and Varane for the future.
Nan Bali.
By you playing head somebody and injure himself.
Okay. No. Okay. Twanzebe and Varane. Feelings on that. Okay. Joe, you and I had a very heated discussion privately about Maguire. All right. Your thoughts on Maguire's performance, considering you've watched him a lot over the last few
I mean,
years.
I think Maguire had a master class. So Maguire was the best. I mean,
From an Arsenal perspective, not a footballing
I
perspective.
forgot that he left Leicester City. That's what you mean.
yeah, Maguire had a great game. I mean, Maguire was probably the man of the match for Leicester City for real. When you really think about it,
He was.
yeah, it was. Hey, listen. Let me be serious. I still think he was the man of the match. That was me being serious. But anyways, moving back to that.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I do not agree with the stigma that Maguire is complete garbage. I do not agree with that. However, I've been saying for quite some time that Maguire, for me, is not the player you want behind there leading the line. You need Maguire. For me, Maguire is like a Joe Gomez that you put next to a Van Dijk. So
Okay.
you follow me, I point it out, and
Mhm.
you will take the instructions and we'll look good together. And then I think with Varane coming in, they were still conceding, but a lot of the times too, it wasn't like just the defense wasn't this bad with Varane in the back line. Sometimes it was just maybe short moments where they lapsed and the other team scored, or it was a bad back pass or something. Somebody was just again not paying attention or something. But this game, right? This game, boss. This game. Listen to me. Maguire, like he try to compete with Pogba for assist of the season. Because me tell you, Maguire was phenomenal. Just for the wrong team.
Okay, so you switch back to Arsenal mode now. Just wanted to see at what point did you switch, because you were just sounding like Gabriel Marcotti, and then you just kind of switch into Thierry Henry for a second.
Gosh, listen, I know Maguire is your boy, right? But you cannot tell me Maguire was not awful.
Okay, well, now you've spoken. I will give my official opinion on this.
Maguire was horrendous.
Maguire, you can check the record, because you know I like to go back and check the record. All right, but anyway, you can check the record, and then you will see that I have publicly stated in this show that my perfect centre back pairing would have been Twanzebe and Bailey. I have said so. I have honestly said so. And my English bias is because I like the team. But I can call as of a good friend Jamal said, I can separate my love for my club and the love for the game. You have to separate it. And I can honestly say that Maguire has a lot of weaknesses that were clearly exploited in that game. I refuse to like Memphis, even though I respect Memphis' opinion, to call him a bad player. I refuse. I can't say he's a bad player. I think once you reach to that level, you can't be a bad player. But I do think, no, seriously, I think that Maguire can never be considered a bad player. In other words, I can't say he's a bad player. I refuse to. What I can say, though, is that he has a lot of weaknesses that I can all point out that once exploited, I mean, he will look like nothing, and so I think every defender he has a lot of, for instance, he can't turn properly. All right, people talk about him bringing out the ball. He can't even do that properly. Then he has no pace, but he does have good aerial ability, and which I think is a key point to the game.
Nobody else in the box had bigger, so I mean that's it.
Well, there's a lot more. There's a lot more to heading than having a big head. All right. All right. If that was the case, then anyway, I'm not going to say that to this show because we have a couple people in the top 5 who have of our fantasy league who have rather large heads but they're very short. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that
Wow.
but the fact of the matter is that he's my good friend, though. He's my good friend. I love him, though. But I love him, though. But I got a big head, too, But there's a lot more technique to doing that. I got to say, though, that I think Bailey and Twanzebe are better defenders. And I totally understand why Memphis thinks he's so bad.
Better defender. Phil Jones is probably a better defender.
Lindelof is not good.
Lindelof
is not good in the... I know. Well, I'm Premier League level anyway, right, Shaq?
Of course.
I mean, if Maguire is, of course, yeah. I mean, Maguire is captain in a big team.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. The issue with Maguire is. Let me tell you what the issue with Maguire is. Yard paid $85 million for him. That's the issue with Maguire. Because Maguire, if Yard had paid 30, 35, or 40 for Maguire, it would have been cool, no?
Like when we paid for Bailey.
When you pay $85 million and you get, I mean, you get that. I mean,
captain too now.
That's tough. And then Josh praised the man based off of stats. I'm gonna tell he last week that when Virgil van Dijk won Defensive Player of the Year, Mustafi had better stats than him.
But did he have bad stats though?
I mean,
did he have bad stats, Van Dijk?
Van Dijk didn't have any bad stats.
That's my point. But Van Dijk won. You can't just have good stats. You can't just have good stats. You have to have good stats and win.
But
you know how that works. It's like MVP. It's like MVP in basketball. Look at the bunch of man who's supposed to win MVP in basketball, but their team don't make the playoffs. You don't get it. It's the same thing.
But then you defend Maguire with stats. Maguire has
no. I didn't defend him only with stats, right? I said to Memphis that I don't agree when Memphis is walking in and saying, I respect his opinion, but I don't agree when he says he's 100% wrong. Because you can't be 100% wrong, but yet the stats say you're doing some things right. Now, there are a lot of things wrong with you. I guess it's because I'm a defender, and I've been cursed out a lot behind there when you make mistakes. And
so then
it's hard.
Maguire out of pity. That's what you're telling us.
I feel sorry for him. I know because I feel sorry for him because he's not an overall bad defender. I can't say that. I can't say that. Anybody, I just have faith in him. Nobody can over because I look at people like John Stones. Maybe City fans can help me out. John Stones get bought for $50 million. He have a couple of bad games, makes awful mistakes. He gets benched. I think that being a defender, you have to have the right partner. You have to have the right partner that covers your weaknesses. My perfect example is Vidic. I think if you put Vidic next to Connor Cody, then you probably wouldn't have the Vidic you see today. But when he's next to Ferdinand, he covers his weaknesses. For a while there, what's his name for Chelsea? Rudiger. Rudiger was in the dark for a while. But then the right manager, the right system, the right partner, that works for you. Look, John Stones and Diaz and this amazing partnership that nobody would have predicted. I think you just need the right guy next to you. And I think Maguire never has had the guy to cover his weaknesses. That's what I think.
You
If
know
That's
that's
why?
what
the
I think.
case, then you
Great
got
shot.
you got to try out all the centre back
You know
in
where
the
Maguire
world
work?
to find
When
All
it
right,
comes to it's
let me
sitting.
ask, let me
It's
ask
not
Josh
doing
now.
anything.
So Josh, what do you think is Maguire's greatest deficiency?
I think it's his
Common
agility. He
sense.
doesn't turn well. And I think it's his pace. In a league that's dominated with pace and wingers being quick, he's easily turned around. This is why he needs somebody next to him who's agile and quick, which is not Lindelof. Lindelof has other traits. In fact, he's probably better passing than my midfielders. But point is that he doesn't have the traits to complement Maguire. And I think giving a half a season, maybe more, Varane is the perfect person to do that. I think so, in my opinion, at least. You know, like Vidic. Vidic couldn't run. He had no pace. Vidic couldn't pass the ball. Vidic couldn't dribble. But Rio Ferdinand could do all of that. Together, clean sheets galore.
But there's a difference between Vidic and Maguire. That's if you
Of
really think
course there
about
is.
it.
Of course there is. But
Millions.
that's
Vidic
not my
was
point.
no, but Josh, I have to point that
My
out
point.
because we're using that as the example. Vidic didn't have all of the things that you mentioned, but you
Mhm.
know that in terms of raw defending, Vidic was a better defender than Rio Ferdinand, right? Rio Ferdinand just had a better all-round game. When it came to raw defending, Vidic was one of the best defenders in the Premier League.
I
He
agree
just
with that
didn't.
with you.
He lacks.
But
He
I'm not
lacks
comparing Vidic.
discipline, and he
I'm
didn't
not
have all the
comparing.
other things.
I agree with you. I can't, but I'm not comparing Vidic to Maguire. I'm just comparing partnerships to partnerships, and I think people complement people. That's what I'm comparing it to. All right, so that's that. All right, so let me see. Terry, Josh, buy a diet from us, please. Okay, I haven't seen you, Terry, in a while. I haven't seen you. Let me address that first, Terry. I haven't seen you in a while, but I see you have something up here saying, "Hi, Shaq. Hail up, Tomiyasu fence, Tonto gate." No. Wow. Okay, the North London banter. We're getting to that, Terry. I know, but let me just finish off this last thing here. Um, we see somebody here saying, Bailly is a world class defender. Okay, if Bailly get game time, dead him. Okay, all right. And Varane at the back, no one passing him. Okay, I do think that Bailey is a better defender than Maguire. I would totally agree with that. 100%. But last question for Memphis. The run for United looks grim. Atalanta, they have who else? They have Liverpool, they have who else? Ton of tough
Tottenham.
games coming up. Tottenham,
City?
yeah.
Okay.
United winning any of those games or they losing all?
We could probably beat Atalanta and Tottenham, but triple captain Salah if Maguire playing.
Okay, fine. Triple Captain Salah if Maguire is playing. What's your answer? Maguire is going to play. Maguire is going to play unless he's injured. So unless you're going to go home tonight and pray that God injures him, what would you advise Ali right now if you're going to play Maguire?
Just plan to sit back and camp in your penalty area because that's the only time he's useful.
Okay. All right. So that's your strategy to the team. Just play in a low block and 5 man in the defense.
That's the only time Maguire's useful. What else can he do?
What else can you do? Let me move on. Good to see you, top of the league, the Blues in the building. I have to recognize you. I'm talking to you, Suka. Suka didn't know
Yep,
that.
I know.
You see, I mean, you gotta get used to being a top of the league, man. So when I call you top of the league, man, you be like, yeah, that's me because none of y'all can talk, right? You're the only top of the league, man. All right, let's talk your game, man. Let's talk your game. All right.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You get
I,
way, you get way, or you
yeah,
deserve
big
it. Which
time
one?
away. No, no, big time we got away, man. I mean, we owe so much to Mendy. Again,
Mm,
everybody is saying why he's not nominated as a candidate for Ballon d'Or.
Cause he black. I'm sorry, we can't say that on national TV. But go
Well,
ahead.
I mean,
we know,
the
we know.
guy, the guy. I mean, when I looked at the game, I mean, you could see why the big teams would struggle at Brentford. I mean, you saw Liverpool. Which was the other team that had a problem playing at Brentford earlier? Was
Besides
it
Arsenal.
City?
Liverpool, they drew.
Okay,
It
Liverpool.
was
Yes.
Liverpool to me, and that's the only big team that
And they
struggled
beat,
at the home.
they beat
And
Arsenal.
Arsenal. They beat Arsenal. The other big
And the
team.
thing is, Suk was not even trying to troll. He's not even trying to troll. He's legitimately asking a question to see
Bro,
shock face. Like
Yeah,
seriously.
so
Yeah, I'm legitimately answering too.
trolling.
mm,
I don't care what you answer.
yeah, because Josh, I mean, they had us camped for a long time in the defense.
They did. They
Um,
played well. No
they
fear.
played very well, man. I mean, we were very fortunate to escape with 3 points. I think 1 point. If you look at the game, you would have think probably would have been a little bit fairer, I guess. But Mendy was just on form. I mean, you have those games where on that day you just can't beat a goalkeeper, no matter
Mm,
no matter what
yep.
you do. He had that kind of a game.
Mm.
So
Good stuff. So let me
yeah,
ask you this then. I predict, this is my personal opinion, but I predicted at the beginning of the season that y'all will win the league. Um, I mean, it's only 8 weeks in, but
yeah.
how you feeling? Because I mean, the kind of form you showed against Brentford isn't that championship form. You found a way to get the 3 points.
Yeah, you find a way, but as I said, Josh, I'll still stick to it. When we start hitting the mid-season and teams
Mm-hmm.
start getting tired, and
Mm-hmm.
then City start turn to the bench and they start to get that almost like that second 11 start playing
Mm-hmm.
and start going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe that's where they have the edge
That's
going
where they
forward.
have the
That's where you're
edge.
gonna see the bench. I mean, 8 weeks in, it's still very early. Let's wait for about like 20 weeks or so in, and then you're gonna really
So
start
people
seeing like
will
the
say you're
first half
afraid
of the
City.
season. I know it's not afraid. I'm afraid of them. I have
I
respect
don't
for
know.
them.
You don't
I
know
respect
overthink.
them. I respect them. I respect the depth that they have in the bench as well. So that's why
True,
I'm
true,
saying
true.
there will be coming times later in the season when that would come to the fore. So that's what
Mm.
I'm that's what I'm saying. That's why I still give them the edge going forward. I mean, I still believe. Remember they had a rough start last season, right? When they
Mm.
Yeah.
started, I saw how the form picked up
Mm.
afterwards. Now they've had a little bit. It was a little indifferent to start off. Okay, they've started to put some wins together and so on. But I believe it might be something like a repeat again, something
Mm.
very similar.
Mm. Okay, let me
Yeah.
ask everybody this quickly. Chilwell or Alonso? Who you picking?
Alonso.
If it's a wing back role, I'm going with Alonso because that guy's a striker.
Fuck.
And buy a new
Okay.
left back.
What you say, Memphis?
Mm.
And buy a new left back.
Okay.
So
Thank you, Memphis.
somebody salty tonight, boy.
With
Jeez.
Chelsea use a wing back system, Memphis. So you don't need to buy. You
Mm.
don't need to buy a left back.
Yeah, I'd actually go with Alonso.
I would go with
Alonso.
Alonso as well.
Hmm.
See? No English
You
bias. All
know,
right? I would
you
go
know
with
what I
Alonso as
like
well.
about Alonso? When it's time for him to attack, he
Hmm.
don't. He doesn't second guess himself. He just goes straight on. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever happens,
Mm.
it just happens.
Hmm.
Mm. Definitely. And we seem to have a very special guest coming in.
Wait,
Oh
stress, we
my
need to
goodness.
humble when it comes
Everybody
to
hold on.
people.
All right.
Breaking
It's
news. Breaking news.
Jamal.
Yo.
My brother.
Jamal in the
Hey,
building.
Jamal, right now, but I wish it
Oh,
I was you.
General
yo.
Yo,
Oscar.
good.
Jamal in the
Great
building,
one.
people. All right. Yes, he is here. Fresh off of coming from the Arsenal, Crystal Palace versus Arsenal
Jeez.
game. You know, good to
Man, we
see
got
you,
the
Jamal.
carpet.
It's good to see everyone else again. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
man.
Yep.
It's been a while.
Yep.
We missed your banter. We know how things are with you, so we appreciate you coming out, man. Definitely
Yeah, the fans
appreciate
have
it.
been asking for you too, man.
They've been asking, they've been begging for you, man. And you the man that women have to deal with Memphis. And Memphis have all kind of
Okay.
people come to our show. You know, you're supposed to be. You, sorry,
Oh, it's
sorry,
true.
Memphis. But you supposed to be the face. You and Memphis supposed to be the face of the show, man. You know, and Memphis, as Joe said, and rightly said, Memphis didn't understand the assignment. So but I mean, I'm not going to go on that around.
Yo,
but
but ultimately, no. Jamal came in at the perfect time because when
he
the
did.
face of the show just dipped, look, the real face of the show just come on.
Tell you.
It pick up.
Stats,
Amazing.
perfect for me. I
Well,
have one question for you, man. I have one
Yeah.
question for Jamal, man. When Lacazette scored the equalizer.
Wait. We'll get to that. Finish what Tuka was saying. We'll get to the Arsenal game.
Okay. Because I want to
Yeah.
know what you were
Yeah,
feeling,
I
man.
don't
I
want
want
to
to
take
know
I
what
don't
you were
want to take the
feeling.
spotlight from
I
anybody.
like this comment from Terry.
Fellas, who is this Chelsea fan? He's too humble. When he talks, I can't even hear Chelsea. I know, right? How can you not like Sukwa? When Sukwa talk, I mean, he's probably the worst person to banter. Like legit. But we love Sukwa around here, man, definitely.
Super is the
So, I
cranky
mean,
of the group.
yeah, I mean, like, I want Sukwa to say, that's a good comparison. Oh my goodness. Well done. But anyway, I want Suka to come and say, look, Josh, man, we're gonna win the league. My team is the best team in the league, right? I'm at the top of the league right now. I mean, I got three squads. I mean, I got the best manager, Champions League winner. I got this. But Suka, I say that boy. Suka, wait a minute.
No.
Yeah, right. It's okay. All right, so let's talk about some Man City Burnley. All right, thank you for the clean sheet points there, Moy. I needed that for my fantasy. Appreciate
Welcome.
that. But in this game, though, what would you say frustrated you the most about this game?
I mean, I think he was pretty well rounded. There were a couple times Zach Stefan actually came up big for us.
Hmm.
A couple one-on-one chances that they managed to get away. And yet again, it's still frustrating to see we keep getting beaten on these counter attacks every single time. One ball to the defense, and it's one-on-one with the keeper.
Mm,
But once again, I must commend Bernardo Silva. He was lost out of the team last season, and he
mhm,
just rejuvenated himself again. He's a very important player to City with his movement and
mhm.
whatever. And also big up to Nathan Ake on
I was going
playing
to
the
talk
left
about
back,
him.
playing the
Yeah.
left back role, and then into the back three whenever it was like that. It was a good performance. Good to
Is
see Sterling back on the pitch. I was hoping that he got a goal to boost confidence. But all in all, 3 points taken, clean sheet again. I move on.
is this the first game Ake has played for City where you haven't given away a penalty
No.
or cost a goal?
Mm,
Probably in the Premier League.
Yes,
mm.
sure.
Oh,
Is
because he had that run going. Seriously.
wow, that's an interesting stat there, Shaq. I didn't
But
even
he's
know
still
that
better than
one.
Maguire, though.
No,
Okay.
honestly.
Oh wow.
Honestly,
Thank
no.
you.
When Ake played sometime, gave a
Mm.
penalty. In Community Shield too now. That's how he lost. He gave away a penalty. Right.
Okay, well, is left back his spot though? Because I'm thinking he's played midfield before. He's played left back, left center back. With the kind of system you guys have, where the left back basically a midfielder, is this kind of end up being his real role?
I mean, I think this is a position where you see, you're not getting a lot of playtime in your regular spot as a centre back that you would say, so you just take it as it goes, and he can adjust to it. But when it
Mm.
comes to an attacking minded game, when we have to go forward, that's not his kind of stuff because he's not going to overlap and get forward.
Okay.
And Pep mentioned that he played Ake because Burnley had these tall defenders and their physicality, so you needed more presence in the box when it comes to that time with
Good
Laporte,
point. Good
Stones,
point. Good
and
point.
Ake. And I mean, Ake, he was brilliant when he was past the half line. He can pass the ball too, but you don't expect him to make those overlapping runs and do those Cancelo, Kyle Walker type run. He's just there to show the defense, which I think he did
Okay.
very good.
Hmm.
Is Kyle Walker's place in jeopardy?
Nah,
No.
Cancelo is back on that left back role.
Okay. And after Ryan Sterling's Ryan Sterling, Raheem Sterling's comments in the media, are you worried? I know he's a favorite player of yours.
I mean, if I understand why he would like to open doors to go to another club to get playtime, but it's a it. I don't want him to leave, especially now with Ferran out. He should be looking at more game time because Gabriel Jesus, I don't think Gabriel Jesus will play strike majority of the times, and Pep likes to use Sterling in that role now for his little pace and his link up plays that he can do. So I think this is a time when he needs to prove what he can do and try to get on the score sheet and a couple run a good game.
Hmm. Okay. Big ups to him. All right, people. Let's switch one quick thing before I get to the Arsenal game. I want to talk about Brighton. Y'all know I've been bigging up Brighton so far for the season. Another clean sheet, guys. Another clean sheet. When are we going to start to give Graham Potter his credit?
I mean, if it's me, I've been giving Graham Potter credit.
Mm.
But I just don't think as a team, Brighton, and they've shown it. The past two games, they couldn't have scored a goal. Yes, they're not conceding. But
Mhm.
to propel up the table, you need to score goals, you need to win games.
Yeah.
I don't think that they have enough goals in that team. The game
Okay.
versus Arsenal, they took like 20 something shots, but they
Yeah.
didn't score a goal. So yes, they may be creating, but
Mm.
they're lacking that finisher, that cutting edge in the final third. And I think that's
Mhm.
what it was one thing that will hamper them throughout the
Mhm.
season.
Good point. Good point.
Mhm.
Definitely. And they need more
Yeah,
goals.
and then when you look at, I mean, there's not a recognized striker after Mope or
Right.
Mopai. Welbeck was injured, I think, and I mean that's about it. You don't really have
Yeah.
a proper striker.
You think
You have
Welbeck
the
is the answer,
wingers.
though?
You have some good wingers like Trossard, who
Yeah.
has some real good dribble and so on. You might have Lalana. I mean, when he plays, he has some
Yeah.
good dribble, but then you don't have
Yeah.
finishers right now.
So Danny Welbeck is the answer. Then he needs to come back.
He will help. He
Yeah,
will
he
help.
might help.
He will
Yeah,
help the boys. But not if he's
Mm.
gonna go for 20
yeah.
goals.
Mm, okay. All right. All right. Let's move over now. Well, actually, no, I didn't even mention the Tottenham game. And what's his name is gone too. That 3-2 game against Newcastle. So can we confidently say now? It's just a matter of time. We may get breaking news during the show. He's gone. Fired.
Nah, I think he's still in the job. I haven't seen
Oh,
anything yet.
Hmm.
I think
so
he's
it's a
still in the
matter of
job.
time. Okay. All right. Moy has to go fancy. Has something to sort out there, so that's where he'll be out for a bit. But yeah. Sorry. do you do you think that how much more time does he have? I'm guessing his days are numbered, don't you think?
Surely.
I'd say
Mm.
till Christmas realistically, but they should,
Hmm.
if they plan to get rid of him, they should get rid of him like tomorrow.
Who you put
Because
there?
But
Sorry.
who's the replacement? Who's
That's what
who's
I'm
like
that's
a
saying.
good
that's the
replacement right
next
now?
thing. But you just need, you really, in real reality, you just need them to stay up so you can then reconstruct from next summer.
Hmm.
So I don't know who you'd give the job to right now to entrust that they stay up. And Steve Bruce might be the person to just keep them up. But
Right. I'm thinking
Mm.
that.
if they're still in the relegation zone, then maybe Roy Hodgson or somebody just to keep them up.
Quick
And
stat,
then
Actually,
guys. Quick stat after Jamal said that. Aston Villa, Birmingham City, Crystal Palace, Huddersfield, Hull City, Newcastle, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Sunderland, Wigan. All teams he's managed.
Steve Bruce,
Yep.
Bruce.
he has had his fair share of relegation battles. We know
That's
that.
my point.
Hmm.
So I
We know
mean,
that.
does he put himself into this guys? Well, problem, or he just get all bad teams?
All bad teams.
Yeah, I mean, run down this again, Josh.
No problem, bro. Aston Villa, Birmingham City, Crystal Palace, Huddersfield Town, Hull City, Newcastle in 97 or 97 games. Then Sheffield United, then went Sheffield Wednesday, then went Sunderland, Wigan Athletic, and of course Newcastle again. Yeah, so you
Yeah,
see.
I don't think any of those teams if I can remember
None of
them
those
correctly.
teams
I
have
don't think
Yeah.
they
even.
were ever
not
really
ever,
good
I
teams.
think.
So why does he keep getting all bad teams?
I mean, that's his level, isn't it?
If you want to say that, then he's a bad manager.
Hmm.
There you go. Because I mean, I'm just trying to figure that out. I mean, what does the guy have to do? So you're saying if Steve Bruce got a better team, would he do better?
I doubt it. I think,
Yeah.
like you said, I think that's his level. There's nothing else you could do with a better team.
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
If he's that
Nope.
level,
David
then well,
David Moyes.
Nope. Nope.
okay.
Listen. You could put Steve Bruce in some kind of area where he had a machine that he could craft his perfect 11. He'd still find a way to mess it up. Brucey Ball.
Wow.
Are we saying?
That's
Are we
harsh.
saying
That's
that Steve
harsh.
Bruce with Man City comes what?
Good question.
Fifth.
Fourth or fifth. I
Comes
think maybe
fifth.
to come fourth. Yeah, fourth or fifth.
Mhm.
Steve Bruce in Man City
Wow.
comes in the top 10. I don't know about the
Steve
fifth
Bruce is
part.
our manager then. Yeah,
Wow.
but he's a caretaker.
I mean,
Listen,
it's like when David Moyes went to United.
Okay, but then David
It's
Moyes got
like
West Ham
all the
into the
teams.
top
Right.
Yeah, but
And he had
top
the
six.
Everton
top the top
consistently playing well
six.
too.
Everton
He's like
made top
six with
four a couple of
United.
times though.
Six is his level.
No,
He
but
finished only with Everton.
Everton made Champions League.
That
Everton
was
didn't make
one
Champions League.
season. That's the one
Mhm.
time he ever
So
did
David
that.
Moore, but what's his name? Steve Bruce never ever. I
No,
don't have the
I
stats. I have to
wasn't
check the
saying I wasn't
stats.
comparing that. I was saying that they're just managers that just have a certain level. If they go
Okay,
higher than
okay.
they can crumble under the pressure.
So how
because
David Moyes for you then will take the City team where? Same point. Same
Relegation.
question. Lord of mercy. Okay, okay. All
no,
right.
not relegation, Memphis. That's
Wow.
harsh. That's
Mhm.
harsh. But then
I know that's a
Wow.
United fan.
we're just looking at
Because
the
you have to
Steve
factor in.
Bruce. We're just looking at the Steve Bruce City thing based on the fact that City has more quality. But then we're not looking at the fact that we're saying yeah fifth because we know they have a quality team, but we're not looking at the fact that Steve Broom has never had that much quality at his disposal. He
Good
probably
point.
doesn't know what to do with it, so he would still find a way. They would squeeze top
Mhm.
10 because they just have that
Mhm.
many good players. But I
Mhm.
still don't even think he would make Europa League.
Mm.
That's really
Wow.
harsh.
Mhm.
That's
Just
so
my
harsh, but
opinion.
yeah.
That's
That's just how I
really
feel about Brucey. Sorry.
Okay.
So Josh,
Okay.
okay, this is my
Then
question, right? So what do you think those new owners can do now? As a we've seen that Newcastle is what 19th right now.
yeah, boy, they're struggling down there. They're playing that 5-3-2 with all them defenders
Mhm.
behind there, and they're still playing
And they're still
awful.
licking goals.
They
However,
are.
though,
Go ahead.
with Wilson in the team, is a different Newcastle. They
Is
tend to
it?
Mhm.
score more goals and they grind out more results.
Mhm.
With Callum Wilson, if he can stay fit for 5 games, they'll be out of the relegation zone in the advance.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. You make a solid point there, but when you actually look at Steve Bruce's stats for Newcastle, they're literally at the bottom in every category. Every category. Literally. I checked the stats when I did the show, the last show that I did, and I saw that and I realized, is the Newcastle team itself that bad? I think Paul Merson in one of the shows, is one of the sports shows they had there. He was saying that they need 17 players. They need that many players, guys.
They need a whole, well, not 17, maybe 16, because you keep St. Maximin, but the rest of them are just bit
I'd
part
say
players.
they need
They're
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
a whole
they're
back
not
line.
the quality that you would
Mhm.
put in a team that's gonna challenge for top five.
Mhm.
And
Because
Yeah.
you ask any of these players, can they walk into a top 4 team?
Well, then
Maybe
Big
apart
E
from just
like
Wilson.
I said, Maximin, St. Maximin, maybe.
Yeah, Saint
probably,
Maximin.
probably he would
Probably
definitely. So then
Wilson as well, maybe as
let,
a
let me
secondary striker.
let me turn the question around, and this is the last question for this. Pep, if Pep has this Newcastle team, how high is he going?
That's a good
Relegation.
question.
I know, right? Blame
Yeah,
Shaq
but
because he gave me the idea. So I mean, where where does Pep carry this team, guys?
Relegation.
In the top 10, I'd say.
Boy, Pep is rated highly, boy. Where
Um,
that?
um, but to be fair, I don't think he could work with a team like that.
Yeah.
To
Because
Because
be fair,
you'd ask
to
them
be
to do
fair,
something, they probably wouldn't have the ability to do it.
this Newcastle team is not a relegation team. I
no,
don't
they're
think
not.
so. So I would put them, I want to the top 10. They'll probably be like 15th, 13th, the highest. So then you give them a quality manager. He probably can squeeze 2 places, 3 places at best, or further up the table.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. All right. We have Terry here saying that Pep's spending that money wisely. So let's just this Tottenham now. Tottenham. They scored 3 goals. And Nombele, Hurricane, Son. Um,
Number ball.
yeah, he's a really good player though. So what are we saying then? Okay, we have Munchie here. Munchie here saying once Pep. once Pep get who he wants, he get them top five. Okay,
He
all
didn't
right.
understand it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
See,
saying with the current team,
Mhm.
He
but
never does. Yeah. He never does.
um, can we say Tottenham? Have they found their bearings now after a couple of bad results from a couple of good results? Oh no, Harry Kane
I
back in the fold.
I wouldn't say that just yet because
Mhm.
they scored those goals because of poor defending from Newcastle. Like the end on Bellew and Lascelles is just watching him and giving him
Mhm.
both sides to shoot.
Good point.
Harry
Good point.
Kane,
Definitely.
the right back was deeper than the rest of the back line.
Mhm.
The Son one, that's just bad defending again. And Newcastle actually started better than Spurs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
hmm Shelby, was it a red card?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, Chevy retarded know about.
Yeah,
Serious.
it's a second yellow well, for sure because I
Mm,
mean he stopped the yeah, I mean he stopped Reguilon right there on clean goal scoring
mhm.
possible.
Yeah, Chevy's one of them players for me. Chevy's one of those players. I mean, he's not crazy talented, but
Mhm.
he can do a job. But he just don't have a brain.
He doesn't have a brain. Okay, all right. And when she says yes, Spurs will be Spurs. Hashtag nothing special. Oh boy. All right, Spurs are being Spurs. But I mean, the league is as such, and at Newcastle, you back them to win. All right, little side note there. We jump into fantasy. Top of the league, the Blues, man. I don't know if you listened to the show earlier on, but we're bigging you up, man. We see you closing down on Netflix and
Oh,
Chilwell. Can we catch him? Can we catch him?
I think he had some he had Livermento on his bench, right? So he would
He
get
did.
subbed in. So he would increase his lead probably to about 30. Or I mean at least we cut it down from about what 60. It was 60.
He was, at one point he was
It's
that
about
high. I
right.
mean,
So
yeah, but
I guess the next couple of weeks will
we'll
determine.
see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right,
What it
and we
is.
see we see a Kanye Singh Jamal back from international break. Jamal, see the fans never want you, man.
That
That's
was
how
a
it
long
is.
international break.
I tell you, boy, you have ordered that. But yeah, good to see you, definitely, Jamal. And as based on what we were told, you were at the Crystal Palace game today. Crystal
Yes,
Palace Arsenal game today, and
yes, it was.
you showed us a few videos of that very beautiful stadium, and the grass looked like you could eat it. You
The
know,
carpet.
yeah, yes, it was just absolutely perfect to see. And talk about your experience, man, and just in general before we
Well,
actually talk about the game.
yeah, so I'll give you like a build up. So even hopping on the train just to get to the stadium, um, I came from another side of town, so East London, where other clubs are. But then, just like where West Ham plays, we passed the West Ham Stadium to get into Central London to go up to North London. But then, as the train would go in, there's trickles of Arsenal fans coming on. They got their shirts on. They're talking about the game. They're talking about, the next big games and how we play United or City on the first of next year, and all that sort of
Mhm.
stuff. So different conversations going on all across the area, and then you get into the train station where Arsenal is, and then as I come out the train station, rain starts to fall. So now
It ain't
you're
right.
not in a good mood. It's damp, it's wet. Everybody's just scurrying around and running around. But then as you start making your way up to the stadium, there's more life. People are talking, people are shouting, people are singing, and then there's different pubs. So I stopped to get my customary um, pre-game pint. I stopped at a at a pub, at Arsenal pub.
Customary,
Yeah, custom.
customary. Oh
Stopped at
man.
an Arsenal pub, and you had to show your
Mm.
season ticket to get into this pub. So not just
Oh
anybody. The
wow.
Crystal Palace fans can't just come and go in the pub as well,
True.
or a
True.
regular
True.
person on that night can't just go in the pub. So you have to show the ticket for the game. So we went in, had a drink, and then we started to make our way to the stadium. And as you get up, the lights start to appear now. The stadium is around the corner. You can see more fans walking on the road. There's different food,
Mm.
chicken on the side, Jamaican patties.
Oh
Everything
yes.
is just
Oh, I love a good
lively
Jamaican party.
as you walk up to the stadium. And then
Mhm.
as you get to the stadium, there's just a bunch of people around. I even saw Ty. Ty walk by me from from Arsenal fans.
Wow.
He walked by me and ran quickly into the stadium. He came late purposely so that no one would stop him. But
My
yeah,
man,
so
famous boy.
yeah,
Yeah, bro.
I went into the shop to buy a few things, and then I walked back out. We went back upstairs, and then there was just lines of people trying to get in now because now you're like 30 minutes to kick off, and everybody's just outside the stadium
Yeah.
trying to get in. So there's just lines and lines. You get through the line, you go in the stadium, and then there's bars inside the stadium. Let me. The Tottenham Stadium is magnificent, but Arsenal Stadium is pretty good to me as well. Inside, there's just like maybe 20 bars going all the way around. Tottenham Stadium's got maybe 50 bars in it, and large screen
Wow.
TVs and all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
But now you walk up the step to go up into the into where the seating area is, so you can see down onto the pitch. And you just walk up. There's just bright lights, and then green, pure green, and then a sea of red behind it.
Oh boy.
So
Jealous, boy.
it
Jealous,
was
jealous,
amazing.
jealous, jealous.
And then the
Shaq
first
over,
goal,
Shaq over there trying to have a cry now. You over there. Like literally the man is like emotional right now. Go ahead, Jamal. Go ahead, Jamal. Sorry, bro.
Vieira and Palace. So Palace walk out first, and then boos start to go around the stadium. And then Vieira walks out, and everybody's cheering Vieira. And then
Yep, legend, the legend.
Legend.
by far the world's greatest team, Arsenal walk out, and everybody's just like, yeah. And then then I guess the game kicks off, and then the goal scores, and then the crowd just erupts. 8 minutes in, Aubameyang scores a goal. Fantastic.
Getting goosebumps over here.
He does a front flip in front of the Palace fans, and we're like, yo, this guy is crazy.
Tell it, boy.
Then you get the two Palace goals, and not a word rings out in the stadium. After the second Palace goal, Palace started singing Vieira's Purple Army, and then Arsenal fans started singing something that drowned them out as well. So it was just back and forth between fans.
And then the English people, boy.
Yeah,
Tell it, boy.
you see them jumping in the corner, but then you can't hear anything that they're saying because the Arsenal fans are just too loud. And then end of the game when Lacazette scored that winner, people already left the stadium because everyone was upset. This Italian lady sitting next to me, her first game, she was shouting. She's like, "Come on, Arsenal! Come on, Arsenal!" This guy behind me is complaining. He's like, "Why are we so bad? Why are we so bad?" And then Lacazette scores the equalizer, and everyone's like, "Yeah!" But the crowd erupts when Lacazette scored that. And then
that must have been amazing.
Yeah, and then we just waited for them to come around. You saw Aubameyang clapping the fans, and then Ramsdale as well came around and clapped us as well. So it was pretty nice.
Awesome, man! Wow, wonderful experience, Shaq. I know you always had things
Jamal,
to say.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Jamal, I beat the story just before we came onto the show. You had some pretty good seats.
Yeah, so the seats I had were right behind the commentary box, which is on the halfway line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just off to the left of that. So it was pretty good.
So you can see all the field.
Yeah.
So was it a long walk from when you got off the train to the stadium?
Yeah, it was about 15 minutes walk. Right?
I know, Jamal. 15 minutes long.
It's long for Jamal.
So there were different stations to come off at, but I came off at Highbury Islington, which is where Arsenal's old stadium was.
Right.
And then you walked in about 15 minutes. There's another train station, Arsenal, that comes off right at the train station, but that would have been busy with all the people coming up.
Okay.
And I wanted to go to a pub before, so it wouldn't make sense to come out at the stadium.
So you said that this stadium was quiet after those two goals from Palace went in. Would you say the fans turned on the team, turned against the team, or they were just quiet, waiting for the team to push to give them something to cheer about?
It was just quiet because when you're at home and you can see the goal, you're not like you don't cheer for the opposing team scoring a goal, right? So you could hear the Palace fans cheering, but we're not cheering because we can see the goal. So that's why it was quiet. But as the game edged on, and every time Partey and Lokonga got the ball and they made a back pass, the whole crowd.
I heard that.
why are you doing this? Why
I
are you
heard
doing
that
Yeah,
on
you can hear
TV.
that
Yeah.
through the television. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was wild.
you're right there, and they're just shouting at you like, why? And even when Partey had that shot when he cut inside and then took the shot on his left foot, that was everybody just started shouting because that was nearly in, but it didn't go in. And then, Tierney hit the bar as well, so everybody was
Yes.
jumping off their foot because they thought that was in. But yeah, every time they'd get a back pass or like Pepe would be in space or Odegaard would lose the ball as well. You're shouting at the players because we can see where you need to play the ball, but the players can't see that.
Good point.
And when they make the
Good point.
bad
Yeah.
pass or they lose the ball, or where Partey lost the ball, that when we conceded that first goal, everybody was drawn in at him. Like, why are you turning into the player on the edge of your box? So yeah.
Joe, you have any questions? Because I could go all night.
Bro, we're gonna need a separate show. Man,
um,
even from the videos he sent, right? I was at work and I was like, yo, oh my lord. Like, listen, like I hope my I hope my girl not watching this, but listen, wedding day, Arsenal tickets. I have to think about it. Big man thing. Big man thing.
I don't know what to do
Oh,
with this
boy.
guy,
She was like, oh my
man.
goodness.
Sure, so it was not earlier, but
Like, wait, I mean, listen, I think we'll probably be the first people to have a mobile wedding. 'Cause
What's the
wow,
moment with it?
Oh my
wow,
I'm going to that game and we're beginning the honeymoon at the stadium.
wow.
Because no, but for real, man, like all jokes aside though, like I was looking at the footage, like I was literally stalking the group to see what else Jamal was going to send. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
because I was just there, he
yeah.
sent the
Thanks a lot
first
for that,
video.
Jamal.
I looked at the field and I was like, yo. And
Christine.
your imagination, everything just goes wild. And then now I'm listening to the game through the TV because I'm in the office and I'm watching the game on my laptop turned up so I can hear you hear the cheering. Like he said, closer to the end of the game, like every time they played a back pass, like there was one time when Gabriel and Son were in the box and they just weren't crossing the ball. And you could hear the fans shouting. And then like even when Martinelli was on the side, like going left and right, but just not doing anything with the ball.
Yeah, but nobody was there. Nobody was there. It was like, you're
Yeah,
20
nobody.
yards away. Why are you not giving him support?
Yeah, so yeah, you could hear everything. So then now I'm there now looking at that and listening to it through the computer, and I'm saying, yo, I'm trying to now imagine it from Jamal's perspective being there in the stadium. Bro, that
But that's the
wow.
question I want to ask Jamal. Jamal, you watch Arsenal play on the TV before. How is it different being in the stadium? Like, did you notice any players? Did you see anything different from the players than what you would see when you watch them on the TV?
Well, not really anything different in the terms of like body language or whatnot, but you can see that what the crowd did affected them. So
Mhm.
when you booed them for making the first back pass, they think twice before making the second one.
The next one.
They still have to make it because obviously there's no other option. When Martinelli was doing that twist turn, that happened right in front of me, and the guy behind me was like, "What are you doing?" He used expletives, but he was like telling Lukongo, "What are you doing?" Because Lukongo is 20 yards away, and
And just standing.
yeah, they're just
Yeah.
standing watching, waiting for him to put the ball back into the box. But
Mm.
it's just it
So
it
you would
was real, yeah.
so you would say, Jamal, then that's the big difference between playing in an empty stadium versus playing with all the fans.
Yes,
There's an obvious effect that fans have on the players.
on the players, yeah. I think
Mhm.
it helps them out more. I was half expecting, like when Pepe would come across for the corner, him to like put his hands up and say, "Yeah, let's go." He's not that type of player to do that.
And Lacazette came on and he was pumping the crowd up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. He was big
facts.
passing and all that sort of stuff. So that
Jamal,
was really
one more question from me. I think in the early run into the game, we were first to those loose balls. Aubameyang was throwing in tackles. Odegaard was throwing in tackles, winning those balls. How did you feel? Seeing the players fully committed?
yeah. Well, that was like pride behind your team, and you're cheering every tackle that they went in for. So it was really good. The whole stadium was behind them. No one's been in the stadium for the past 2 weeks, so everybody's excited for this game. They're up for this game. The team started really well, so that was good thing about the game in the beginning. Like everybody was just hyped and ready to go, and the players came out looked like they were ready to go as well.
Mm.
Oh, so here's what I have a question as well. That second goal, that Edward scored.
Yeah,
What was the reaction like from the fans in terms of like towards Ramsdale?
with nothing towards Ramsdale, they looked at it as a very good goal because
Okay,
even
okay.
even we looked at it and was like, how did that even go in?
Go in,
Over,
yeah,
over Ramsdale off the
yeah.
bar. So we looked at the screen again to see how that went in. I thought it took a deflection, but it didn't take a deflection.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. That was
everybody was just commenting how good a goal it was.
yeah, because it was
Yeah,
and Shaq. I spoke to Shaq today while we were speaking before the game and even in the beginning of the game, and I was telling him, "Yo, Edward is a guy that doesn't need many chances.
yeah.
That guy can finish," and he got it. The only thing I would say was that I mean, for me, the one thing I would point out was Ben White. Like at that stage, why are you still backing off? What are you trying to do? Go into the goal? You know, you're there, close the
Mm,
space.
Jamal,
mm.
let me ask you, right? Did you see the what was the reaction like when I guess Saka had the clash that they said that
Oh,
went too
Oh my
far?
goodness,
yeah.
it's a good question.
That
I was gonna
mm,
ask the same question. Thank you, Suka.
Which clash?
When Saka got
the
kicked.
yeah, and then
Um,
eventually he was subbed at halftime.
was that the one in front of the penalty box?
Yeah.
Yes,
I honestly didn't see it. I was looking at something else, but I think he go for a header. Everybody they were berating the referee as to why it happened though, because
Something
the
else
referee
of
called
someone.
the foul, but didn't he gave a yellow card after the whole
Mm,
everybody was in the circle, and everybody was shouting at the referee, because he's been very inconsistent with the cards in this game.
yeah,
Um, what was
mm.
it? We
beautiful.
had we had a couple
Beautiful.
tackles against us. He didn't give a yellow card, and then he gave Saka a yellow card for his first tackle,
Yes,
and everybody was like,
Yeah.
"What are you
Mm,
doing?" Right, and then
yeah.
yeah, when Saka went down, I noticed the whole mood changed in the stadium because everyone's like, "Oh, Saka's injured," but then also they're berating the referee for not calling a proper foul and just letting it play on for a bit before you call it back.
I
Mm,
personally thought
okay.
that should have been red.
Mm.
Well, to be fair, like I said, I didn't see it as
Yeah,
it happened, and then because it was a crowd of players, and I didn't see it as it happened, and then there was no replay in the stadium for me to see what happened again.
Oh, okay.
The stats say, guys, that Arsenal made two errors leading to goal in the Premier League for the first time since April 2019 versus Wolves, and the first time at Emirates since 2017 versus United. What does that say about your defense? What happened that day that made it so different?
Well, these guys just backing off, really.
Mm,
Mm,
Um, who was it? Was it Benteke that scored the first one, right?
yeah.
yeah.
Well, an error, as you said, Partey got tackled, but they never looked at it really. So you got
Mm.
tackled, lost the ball, and then Benteke just what did he? You skip past the two central defenders and then
Yeah,
scored.
Gabriel.
No, White was out wide. It was Gabriel and him basically one on one.
Gabriel.
Yeah, and
White was
he's
running
swing
in to
guard.
try to close the space, and he just basically like a little shift to the right, and
Yeah,
Gabriel had already committed. And I'm like, yo, why are you committing there already? You know he can't shoot through you. He's either gonna
yeah.
go left or right.
yep, yep, yep. And that. Well, so do you guys feel like it's a point gained or loss?
It's a point
Points
drop.
lost or points gained?
That's
Point drop.
2 points. Yeah,
100% a
2 points
point
shot.
drop. I
2
mean,
points.
Yep.
Patrick Vieira looked devastated when they conceded that second goal, but I'd say we were more devastated.
Yeah. Bro, they zoomed
We
in on
conceded
him.
that second goal.
They zoomed in on him when the goal scored. This
Yeah,
man was on the ground, slapping the ground.
J-
I was like, yo.
Jamal, Jamal, let me ask you because watching the game, I was talking to Joe. We had a good 20 minutes spell the most in the first half. And
yeah,
then the intensity from Arsenal just
it dropped.
dropped.
It dropped. Yeah,
Like, what do you think attributed to that?
I think it was just tiredness from the players because there's nothing
20
visible that
minutes, bro.
could have been. I mean, the fans were behind them. Everything was behind them. I just don't know why the intensity dropped. And then Palace had a lot of possession of the ball in our half at that point. Yeah. So I'm not sure what happened there, but intensity just dropped and we just never got it back. Palace grew into the game, and that's when they got the goal.
Yep.
Obviously from the two mistakes, but I was just hoping that we could control the game more. Even coming out into the second half, we're still leading 1-0. I was hoping let's control this game more, but
Mhm.
came out and followed the same fashion that it ended the first half in.
Yeah, because
And
even
then
in the midfield,
and Palace just took their two chances.
yeah, because
Yeah.
even in the midfield, looking at the game, like Palace did similar to what they did against Spurs when they
Yeah,
took control of the game and ended up winning the game. Like, and you would think we were playing with 10 guys because everybody that got the ball in the midfield, they were able to double team them. And I'm like, if they're double teaming this guy, that means there is somebody on the field that's completely free
yeah.
because
But
somebody would have left the player. But they did a
I
good
feel like
job as well, though.
yeah, I feel like that was a tactic somewhere as well. Because for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I would see no Palace fans in the midfield. It would be packed with Arsenal fans, and then the next 5 minutes is all Palace fans in the midfield and no Arsenal players. Not fans, players. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, players in the midfield, and then all of Arsenal players would be around the outside, like waiting for a long ball or something. So
Mm.
I feel it that was tactical, but I noticed that
Jamal,
it was empty at times.
last one, absolutely last one. Um, did anybody stand out for you in terms of movement and how they were reading the game or picking up spaces? Did anybody stand out for you?
Aubameyang stuff for me because he was running across the back line like crazy. He would come near, collect the ball
Mhm.
sometimes, spin and go back. When he played those couple of link up plays with Lacazette when Lacazette came on, that
Mm-hmm.
was pretty
Mhm.
good as well. That happened
Yep.
right in front of us. That was good. But other times you'd run in behind the defense and then call for the ball, but nobody was looking up to pass the ball. Um, Lack of awareness from some of the players as well, namely Partey. I don't know what happened to him today, but some of the long balls that he could have played, he didn't play. Got caught on the ball a couple times. I noticed it's his feature of the game to play with his back towards um, the midfield, but sometimes that hampers him because he take his back towards midfield, take the ball from defense, and then try to turn. By the time he turns, there's a player on him, and then
Mm.
I don't know what he's gonna do with the ball, and that's what happened when we conceded the goal.
Uh, uh, Somebody must have said press him when he turns. There
Yeah,
must have been some sort of tactic to go against that. But Jamal, we're really happy that man, that you were able to come on and let us know about this. It's an experience that I don't think any of us have had, but all of us would love to have. And even Terry here saying,
I mean, now I link
uh,
up with Jamal and work, man.
true, one of these, trust me, it gonna happen soon, right?
yeah, for
And
sure.
Shaq, we're going to a North London derby before we die. We have
Of course,
experienced that vibes there. I
Uh,
mean,
of course.
where is it, Memphis? Old Trafford? This is the part we say as long as Maguire not there. You know, right,
No,
Memphis?
seriously,
but
I do not London derby. I do
speaking
not
about
London at the Emirates.
yeah, do at the Emirates. But
Yeah, at the
if you
Emirates.
if you do go to the Tottenham Stadium, you'll love it. I'm ashamed to say so, but the Tottenham
It's a
Stadium
beautiful stadium. They spend the money.
is
Yeah.
a stadium of like a feat of
I
engineering.
mean, Jamal, they did have the template from the Emirates to look upon to know how to better it. So,
Where is it, Suka? Stamford Bridge?
Why not? I guess that club
what?
has some good history there, but I
So
guess
what? Who
but
who you, who would you want to see Chelsea playing against? What game? One game. Who you want to see?
that's one game. I would like to see Chelsea Liverpool.
Chelsea, Liverpool.
I would say United Liverpool. I hear those games
Oh
are
yes,
awful.
yeah, yep.
The fans of them are crazy. That one day for sure. I would love to see. And maybe one of these days we will all get a chance to do so. God's will
Island
live.
fans on tour.
Tell you, boy,
That's
we
the
just go
hashtag.
game. We just
That's
go
the
game
hashtag.
after game. We go, yeah, we just go Arsenal game, United game, all of them. We just check out, bounce.
Yep.
Assuming they're not playing at the same time, we just bounce around and we just check it out. That's
Yeah.
something for the future. We'll hope that happens. But
But
again, man, we got to big up to
wait,
Go,
I have
Jamal.
to say this. I have to say this again. I know,
Mhm.
people might not want to hear this, but good for Terry as well. If you do go to London, try and get a tour of that Tottenham Stadium. Like honestly, but they
Oh, it's
got
that
five
good.
five levels of seats that you got to walk up the stairs to get to the top. They got a zip
Wow.
line through the middle of the stadium.
Ooh.
Yeah, the
Wow.
pitch. They've got
Zip
two
line and
pitches.
so?
Yeah, they got the
Wow.
famous what is it the the chicken on the ball that's on top of the stadium.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Oh.
then the stadium is really nice. They literally have about 50 bars in the stadium, and then TVs
Wow.
all around. So when I was watching the NFL game, and when we came out after the game, there's NFL on all around the place inside the
Wow.
stadium. So you could just
Wow.
go to the bar and then watch the rest of the NFL games that were on that day.
Mhm.
It was crazy. The pitch is two pitches in the stadium, so it's retractable. So they take out the NFL pitch when there's no NFL games and put it
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the
That's a lot of money,
broken
boy.
pitch. Yeah,
Bro.
A lot of
Man,
working
yep.
parts too, boy. Because
yeah.
This is
crazy.
exactly why Daniel Levy won 150 for Kane.
Tell you,
Yeah.
boy, man, I picked up that day.
Yeah.
When I was there, there was Tottenham
Woo!
supporters that were saying, "Look,
What a mortgage. Anyway,
you
go ahead.
you you have you're
Mm.
prioritizing profits over success." So
Yeah.
I don't know, I sent you guys the pictures where they had NFL banners on the fences outside, and then the Tottenham fans put banners up
Put the banners up. Yeah, yeah.
over that to say you're prioritizing profits over success.
He
Close enough.
is. He is because the NFL obviously wants to move into an expansion kind of movement as
Yeah,
they're trying to make more money with the market in Europe, and stadiums like that can do that is perfect for them.
it's perfect for them. Yeah.
So I believe you're trying to make that money. We know how Levy is. So that's
Josh, I
amazing.
wanted to
That's
ask
amazing.
something, right?
Go ahead.
With Kane finally breaking his duck, right? That's his first goal of the new season.
Mm.
Do you think now that will set him on a run now that going forward he'll start? I mean, he'll just put this whole disappointment behind his back and then start going like the old hurricane that we know. The,
Nah, I don't think so.
it's a,
I really don't think so. I think his head is not there, man. His head is not
mm,
there, and that has never boded well for most players. I don't know what you guys think. Y'all think that he'll score 30-some goals this season?
Nah, you won't get it. You won't hit the heights of what he did last year, but he'll be consistent enough,
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
I think.
Yeah. Joe?
I don't. I actually don't count him out as much as I like the banter and everything. I mean, it's Harry Kane. If
Yeah.
this guy can do nothing else, the one thing he can do is finish. We know this.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it is not much for him as long as he's getting the chances. It's nothing for Harry Kane to score 10 goals in his next 3 or 4 games.
mhm.
So yeah,
So,
it's not impossible.
Because
Like I
normally
say,
Kane,
True.
normally
He's
once Kane breaks the duck or he at least gets that one goal out of the way, then he goes forward. That's why
yeah,
Yep.
He
that's
does.
what I'm
he
saying.
He
So
does.
does.
it'd be
I you
interesting.
know I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I really
Mm,
wouldn't be. Terry, of course, is saying that's Harry we talking about. He's confident to that. And yes, Joe is right too.
A
It's
lot
Harry
of
Kane.
Harry's in it.
If he's gonna get chances, he's gonna finish them.
Mhm.
mhm,
But I wonder if with all those assists he got last season, and he got a lot of goals too. As Shaq said, he may not be the same level. I don't think he's gonna go up. He may
mhm,
just be stagnant.
What
And
what what would be what would be key too? I think that Nuno has to find that steady team going forward.
true, true.
mhm,
I mean, Ndombele at that 10 spot. I think that's the perfect spot for him.
I
You just
would.
stop
That's
trying
so
to
true.
stop trying to let Ndombele play deeper. He don't
So
want to
true.
defend.
He doesn't.
So
He doesn't. He doesn't. I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight,
yep.
man. We had so much good commentary and so many views that were expressed, and again, so many of the fans giving such great opinions on so many topics. Please don't forget to like this video and don't forget to share it with somebody you know watches EPL football, and of course, find somebody this week to subscribe. One friend, anybody you know that loves the beautiful game, they will like this channel as well too. Check it out, and I know all of you would appreciate it. Thank you guys again. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, a great weekend. Don't forget us tomorrow night as well too, and
Mhm.
have just love football. I love each other.
Thoughts. Thoughts.
Anyways.
Jamal, thanks again, Jamal. Appreciate it. Thanks,
Champions
Jamal.
League tomorrow.
Mr. Jamal.
Thank you.
All
Yep,
right.
yep.
Okay.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.